Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party. The Undersecretary of Defense for Personnel and Readiness, the Honorable Gilbert R. Cisneros, and the National Chair of Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve, Mr. Ron Vogel. Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem and invocation by Master Sergeant Chad Emmerich, West Virginia National Guard.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. If you'll join me in prayer. Almighty God, we give thanks that you have allowed us to hear, to gather, to recognize the achievements of those who have come to be recognized. We give thanks for their willingness to support our service members. And it is in his name I pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We have as our Master of Ceremonies, Captain Jonathan R. Townsend, the Executive Director, ESGR.
Good morning. Welcome to the 28th Annual Secretary of Defense Employer Support Freedom Award Ceremony. I'm honored to be here with you for this special event. For the past 51 years, employer support of the Guard and Reserve, better known as ESGR, has fostered a culture in which all employers support and value their employees serving in the National Guard and the Reserves. The Freedom Award is the Secretary of Defense's chance to say thank you to those distinguish themselves and go above and beyond. This year, the Freedom Award program received 1,863 nominations for the Department of Defense's highest honor for employers of the National Guard and Reserve service members. The 15 employers here today represent the best of the best. They go above and beyond to make sure service member employees and their families are taken care of while they perform military duties at home and abroad. When our service members return from military service, those employers help service members through the transition back to their civilian jobs. The Secretary of Defense Employer Support Freedom Award is a way for us to pay tribute to the sacrifices and support to those employers. At this time, would all members of the National Guard and Reserve please stand and accept our appreciation and gratitude for your service. Thank you. We would like to take a moment to thank senior military leaders, adjutants general, general and flag officers, and other distinguished guests for attending today. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the National Chair for Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve, Mr. Ron Vogel.
What an honor it is for me to be at another Freedom Award event. You know, this is the first time in 3 or 4 years because of COVID that we've actually been able to hold this event in the Pentagon. And what a special and unique place this is for us to have the opportunity to be here in this great building where there's so much history has been made by those men and women who have put on the uniform of our nation. And I want to just thank you for the honor of being here and thank those who are the reason that we hold this event, to recognize great employers in the nation who have so honorably, patriotically, and extraordinarily supported our men and women who serve in our nation's Guard and Reserve. As Captain Townsend noted, ESGR has been around with a mission for about 51 years to focus on supporting our nation's employers as we eliminated the military draft. It was necessary to do that in order to recognize the frictions that occur between the demands of military service and the demands of the workplace. So ESGR was created to help work with employers and to support the nation's employers in building what we hoped was a cooperative environment in which the service component of their activities, along with the civilian activities, would not create such a friction, but instead would create a place in which our nation's employers valued the hiring of the people who serve in our nation's Guard and Reserve and actually support their military service. So it's been an extraordinary thing, and in 1996, an award was created that was captioned the Secretary of Defense Employer Support Freedom Award. And it was intended to identify those employers who, by their extraordinary support they provide to the men and women they employ in their civilian employment, but who also put on that uniform to serve and defend our nation, that it is a workable situation where these employers actually value their hiring and what they bring into their workplace, but also they support their military service, and that's an extraordinary thing. But to give you some context about this award, as Captain Townsend mentioned, we had approximately 2,000 nominees for this award in this past year. Normally it's in the thousands in terms of the number of nominees, and of the thousands that come in, only 50 are selected in a nation that is filled with millions and millions and millions of employers. Only 15 are actually selected as Freedom Award recipients. It's an extraordinary honor, and when you look at the total accumulation of this award that's been presented since 1996, a 26-year period, it is 325 employers in this nation of millions of employers have been selected as Freedom Award recipients. It's so extraordinary to be selected for this award when you see the competition that's out there of people who actually are nominated, because as I said, there are thousands nominated, but only 15 selected. You can be assured that this is the best of the best that the nation has to offer. And so I want you to, recognize that employers don't think of themselves in this way, but the reality of it is that our employers are really important partners in our national defense. And I want you to know that Tom Brokaw, a retired news anchor and author, once said, it's hard to make, it's easy to make a buck in America, but it's very hard to make a difference. And for those 15 of you that have been selected here as a recipient of the Secretary of Defense Employer Support Freedom Award, I want you to know that you have made a difference. You've made a difference in the lives of the service members and their families by your support for their service and your employment in their workplace. But I also want you to know, and it's important to understand, that the support that you provide to them makes a difference in that service members' retention in the military service and their readiness to actually, when the call is made, to respond to service in defense of the nation. So, as Tom Brokaw said, it's easy to make a buck in this nation, but it's hard to make a difference, and I want you to understand that you have indeed made a difference to the members of this Guard and Reserve and their family. Our hope as you leave this place today, as you take this extraordinary award, is that you will, for lack of a better word, become missionaries for other employers around the nation to tell them the story of your success here and what you've done with your particular employment workplace, but also to tell them the extraordinary value that the men and women who serve in the nation's Guard and Reserve bring to the workplace. So with that, I just want to extend my heartfelt congratulations to each and every one of you. And as an American citizen, I want to thank you for your patriotic support of the men and women who serve in our nation's Guard and Reserve.
I am now honored to introduce today's keynote speaker, the Honorable Gilbert R. Cisneros, Undersecretary of Defense for Personnel and Readiness. Mr. Cisneros was sworn in as the Undersecretary of Defense for Personnel and Readiness on 24 August 2021. As the Undersecretary, Mr. Cisneros serves as Principal Staff Assistant and Advisor to the Secretary of Defense for Force Readiness, Force Management, Health Affairs, National Guard and Reserve Component Affairs, Education and Training, and Military and Civilian Personnel Requirements, and Management including Equal Opportunity, Morale, Welfare, Recreation, and Quality of Life Matters. Born and raised in Southern California, he enlisted in the United States Navy in 1989 after graduating from high school. After completing the Broadened Opportunity for Officer Selection and Training program, he received a Navy ROTC scholarship and commissioned as an officer in the United States Navy in 1994. He received numerous awards for his military service, philanthropic work, and as member of Congress. The United States Navy Memorial recognized him for his service to our country, and as did the Navy Supply Corps Foundation. He is also a member of the George Washington University's Monumental Alumni. He received a BA in Political Science from George Washington University, an MBA from Regis University, and a master's degree in urban education policy from Brown University. Please welcome Secretary Cisneros.
Well, you got the long version of the bio there. You know, one thing it did leave out, though, I will say, when I was in the Navy, I actually did become a TAR, and then they changed the name to full-time support of the, and then it went back to TAR. But you know, that was I was a full-time reservist working with the Navy reservist there, as TAR stood for Training and Administration of Reservists. So very happy of my reserve background and everything that we did there. So good morning, everyone. General Hokanson. Military and civilian leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today to recognize and celebrate 15 incredible employers that have demonstrated through their words and actions truly outstanding support for their employees who serve in the Guard and Reserve. Through the efforts of employer support of the Guard and Reserve, or ESGR, a Department of Defense office that encourages American businesses and employers to strengthen their support for the Guard and Reserve employees. These employers have been selected from over 1,800 nominations received this year. Since 1996, when the Secretary of Defense Employer Support Freedom Award was established, 325 employers from throughout the nation have received this award. Today we are adding 15 more. Our Guard and Reserve are critical components of total force, a vital operational reserve always ready to respond whenever and wherever they're needed to confront the challenges of a complex world. Today, our nation faces major evolving challenges. Meanwhile, within our nation's borders, the reserve component has a deep bench of experience and capabilities to call upon, with more than 760,000 soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and members of the Coast Guard across 50 states, 3 territories, and the District of Columbia. And we must remain flexible and ready to face whatever the future brings. The employer support of the Guard and Reserve helps sustain a high level of readiness by recognizing the efforts of our nation's hundreds of thousands of employers. Nearly 2,700 volunteers serve on ESGR state committees. They educate and recognize employers who go above and beyond in their dedication to the employed service members through ESGR's robust awards program. The Freedom Award is the highest of these awards and the most coveted. These employers, which are businesses both large and small in the private sector and public service organizations, have risen above the field to show their support for the Guard and Reserve employees. We truly have an amazing cross-section of American employers with us here today. They represent many industries, you know, across the workforce there. These employers don't just follow the Uniformed Service Employment and Re-Employment Rights Act, they go well above the requirements. Through actions such as continuing the salaries of the Guard and Reserve employees when they are away for long-term training or deployment to include the family members of these employees in company events, they truly show what it takes and what it means to be worthy of receiving the Freedom Award. On behalf of the Department of Defense, I thank these employers for being shining examples of the best that America has to offer and taking care of our Guard and Reserve. Our Reserve and Guard members will continue to be a vital and often called upon segment of the armed forces and our society, and employers like these 15 businesses and public sector agencies will continue to lead the way in supporting the all-volunteer force. I want to thank ESGR and thank its volunteers as well, both past and present, for all your work in gaining employee support for the service members' employees. The committee shown to our country and to those who serve our country is incredible. To meet the challenges and opportunities we face as a nation and as a Department of Defense, we need each of you, the ESGR, all our Guard and Reserves, all our families, and all our amazing American employers. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Secretary Cisneros. At this time, it is time to do what we came here to do, and we'll be asking all of our employers as we read them and a brief narrative about their company and about and from the leadership within that company about what the value of service means to them and what their company believes in regard to supporting our service members. Okay, at this time, I'd like to ask Secretary Cisneros and Chairman Bogle, please come back up to the stage, and we'll begin the award presentation.
Recipients fall out over here. 15 that are going on stage. One's going on stage.
Okay, we'll begin with the small business presentation. The first group we honor today is the small business category. Deployments of military members can often be felt more significantly by smaller organizations. Even so, the following companies here with us have gone above and beyond in support of their service members and our nation. Here are the small employer recipients for 2023. CAM Superline was nominated by Army National Guard Staff Sergeant Corey Nelson. CAM Superline, a division of Nove LLC located in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, is an industry leader building a wide variety of hydraulic dump trailers, construction trailers, manufacturing an extensive line of low-profile and deck-over style trailers, which include both full tilts and split tilts. The quote is, "CAM Superline is honored to be recognized for this award. We are proud to partner with our employees who serve in the Guard and Reserve and value their contributions to our company and our nation. This is an opportunity to do what we do not take lightly. We are grateful to be able to contribute a small role in a larger purpose." As quoted by Joe Howard, CAM Superline. Accepting on behalf of CAM Superline is General Manager Mr. Jason Stoner. Exego Corporation, nominated by Air Force Reserve Captain Vincent Chen, established in 2008 to prepare the U.S. government direction to grow small business. Exego is trademarked and registered as 100% employee-owned company and S corporation in the state of Colorado. Exego aids U.S. government and industry needs in enterprise and solution architecture, enterprise and systems engineering, program and project management. Exego's goal is to provide reasonable cost and best value solutions to their customers. The quote is, "Our reservists come back from annual training with the latest and great knowledge of and understanding of warfighting operations. Since many of our employees have been retired or separated for 10+ years, keeping up with the warfighting operations is critical for us to provide the best support possible to our DoD customers." Accepting on behalf of Exego Corporation is Mr. Kelly Christner, President and CEO. Next is E.L. Hollingsworth and Company, nominated by Army National Guard Second Lieutenant Derek Byrd. E.L. Hollingsworth and Company is a Native American-owned and operated transportation and logistics management company. E.L. Hollingsworth offers truckload services, ground expedite, third-party logistics services, complete third-party logistics management, partnerships and warehousing, assembly and foreign trade zones. The quote is, "Hiring veterans gives our company a unique advantage in high-demand logistics industry. Finding leaders who can keep pace and set a great example are not easy to find. Derek has proven time and time again why we pursue our strategy of hiring veterans. His leadership and dedication to excellence continue to set a great example for the entire company." Jeff Berlin, COO, Executive Vice President. Accepting on behalf of E.L. Hollingsworth is Mr. James French, VP of Operations. Next is Mechanical Resource Group, nominated by Army National Guard Sergeant First Class Jesse Folk. Mechanical Resource Group, a family-owned company dedicated to providing equipment and solutions to the industrial and commercial HVAC industry. Core competencies include new equipment sales, controls, aftermarket parts, service, and maintenance. The company works to ensure clients make informed decisions and the equipment meets their business purpose regarding redundancy, flexibility, durability, and life cycle affordability. The quote is, "We hold a deep-seated respect for the men and women who selflessly dedicate themselves to our service of our nation, creating an environment that is supportive of the unique challenges faced by employees who are members of the Guard and Reserve. We take pride in this achievement as it aligns with our fundamental mission of leading and serving, skill sets that are galvanized in our service to our nation." Matthew Fertel, Vice President, Mechanical Resource Group. Accepting on behalf of Mechanical Resource Group is Jonathan Fertel. RISCA International LLC was nominated by Army National Guard Master Sergeant Jeremiah Miller, who is now First Sergeant Miller in the Army Reserve. RISCA International LLC is a hub zone and service-disabled, veteran-owned small business, providing bulk and packaged lubricants and fuel oils to maritime, commercial, and industrial, government, and military customers worldwide. 100% of their products are made in America. The quote is, "First Sergeant Miller is provided with his full salary, benefits, and ensures his family has assistance when needed for all training, including deployments. RISCA International supports all employees' goals for military service and advancement while ensuring employees are aware of USERRA. We prioritize the hiring of Guard and Reserve members and fully support the goals of ESGR." Michael Dunbar, President, RISCA International. Accepting on behalf of RISCA International is Mr. Michael Dunbar. Congratulations to these small companies who are doing big things for the Guard and Reserve. And now we have the large business presentations. In larger organizations, Guardsmen and Reservists often make up only a small percentage of the workforce. Even so, the large employers we recognize today have found innovative ways to individually support their service members, employees, and highlight their contributions. American Bureau of Shipping was nominated by Army National Guard Master Sergeant Frank Horstman. Since its founding in 1862, American Bureau of Shipping has been committed to setting standards for safety and excellence as one of the world's leading ship classification organizations. They are committed to searching for and establishing the best solutions for industry they serve and are at the forefront of marine and offshore innovation. ABS works alongside its partners tackling the most pressing technical and operational regulatory challenges so the marine and offshore industries can operate safely, securely, and responsibly. ABS is proud to support American service members and has a strong history of former and current National Guard and military reservists that both carry forward the ABS mission as well as their patriotic duties. The spirit of ABS includes traits like safety, integrity, and teamwork. Our current former service members are examples of these skills and attributes, as stated by Dominic Carlucci, Vice President, Global Services. Accepting on behalf of American Bureau of Shipping is Yusani Courtney, VP Human Resources. Consumer Energy was nominated by Air National Guard Technical Sergeant Derek Nelson. Consumer Energy provides electrical and natural gas service to more than 6.8 million of Michigan's residents in all of Michigan's 68 Lower Peninsula counties. It is Michigan's largest utility provider. The quote is, "We are honored to be included in such a prestigious list and even more proud of our veteran employees, service to their country, and our customers. At Consumers Energy, we value the skills and strengths our country's military veterans bring to work every day, which is why National Guard and Reserve veterans account for about 1 of every 10 of our coworkers," as stated by Garrick Rochow, CEO, Consumer Energy. Accepting on behalf of Consumer Energy is Mr. Brandon Hoffmeister, Senior VP, Sustainability and External Affairs. Fiserv was nominated by Air National Guard Major Baron Tompkins. Fiserv Incorporated is an American multinational company headquartered in Brookfield, Wisconsin, with 44,000 employees that provide financial technology services to clients across the financial services sector. Fiserv enables money movement for thousands of financial institutions and millions of people and businesses. Thousands of organizations rely on Fiserv for financial services, technology, and payments innovation every day. The quote is, "At Fiserv, we believe in supporting the military community, providing tangible resources, opportunities for employment, and business solutions is not only the right thing to do, it's good for business. Ensuring we have programs that keep serving in the Guard and Reserves whole throughout their service is incredibly important and something we continue to grow and enhance." Dr. Vivian Greentree, SVP, Head of Global Corporate Citizenship at Fiserv. Accepting on behalf of Fiserv is Ms. Vivian Greentree. UBS Financial was nominated by U.S. Navy Reserve Lieutenant Commander Thomas Richter. UBS Financial Services Incorporated is a global business with employees from over 140 countries and offices in more than 50 countries around the world. As the world's largest wealth manager, UBS provides comprehensive advice, solutions, and services to families and individuals throughout the world. Our investment bank provides corporate, institutional, and wealth management clients with expert advice, innovative solutions, execution, and comprehensive access to international capital markets. The quote is, "UBS has always admired the selfless service of our military employees and families. We also recognize the critical role our National Guard and Reserves play in defending our nation, sometimes go underappreciated. We therefore take great pride in acknowledging these humble heroes and are honored to be recognized for our ongoing commitment and steadfast support to such extraordinary employees." Mike Ryan, Vice Chairman, UBS Financial Services, Accepting on behalf of UBS is Vice Chairman Mr. Mike Ryan. USA Truck was nominated by Army National Guard Staff Sergeant Jordan Ray. USA Truck provides trucking and logistics operating segments, blending an extensive portfolio of asset services, offering a balanced approach to supply chain management, including customized truckload, dedicated contract carriage, intermodal and third-party logistics freight management services, 2,000 plus tractors, 6,700 plus trailers, 2,000 plus team members, and 11 service facilities. USA Truck, quote, accountability, commitment, trust, integrity, and teamwork. We are proud to honor our Guardsmen and Reservists who bring tremendous skills and capabilities that strengthen our team. We are proud that approximately 20% of our employees are veterans, and we will continue to grow programs and initiatives that will support our teammates who selflessly sacrifice so much. Joe Jaska, Executive Vice President, Head of Land Transport Americas. Accepting on behalf USA Trucks is Mr. Joe Jaska. Congratulations to those outstanding large employers who are doing so much for their National Guard and Reserve and veteran employees. Thank you for your understanding the critical needs to help them put their skills to work in the civilian workplace. And finally, our public sector presentation. This year's 5 public sector honorees uphold the law and provide critical public safety and municipal services. They are the epitome of public service. The East Bay Municipal Utilities District was nominated by U.S. Navy Reserve Chief Warrant Officer Robert Musick. East Bay Municipal Utility District, commonly referred to as East Bay MUD, is a public utility district which provides water and sewage treatment services for an area of approximately 331 square miles on the eastern side of San Francisco Bay. EB MUD cares deeply about our employees and their commitments in and out of the water industry. We understand the vital role our employees play in the National Guard and the Reserve and recognize the sacrifices they make to protect our country. It is our privilege to support our employees like Robert Musick so they can serve their country and our nation. General Manager Clifford Chan. Accepting on behalf of East Bay Municipal Utilities is Mr. Clifford Chan. Harris County Precinct 1 Constable Office was nominated by U.S. Army Reserve Major Fred Hackett. Harris County's Constable Alan Rosen has led Precinct 1 since 2012, re-elected in 2016, and continues to serve in an exemplary manner in the city of Houston, Texas. The Constable's office is made up of 9 departments, including Civil Process, Honor Guard, Patrol, Public Affairs, Reserve Command, Special Response Group, Tactical Response Team, and Downtown Operations. Harris County Constable's Office works hard to keep the streets of Houston safe among the many other duties as assigned. The quote is, active Guard and Reserve members who hold a full-time career in public safety tend to display a strong discipline, great character, and camaraderie among their peers. It's an honor to have such a dependable, well-trained military men and women as part of the Harris County Precinct 1 Constable Office. Their applications will always be given priority for employment opportunity. Constable Alan Rosen. Accepting on behalf of Harris County Precinct 1 is Constable Alan Rosen and Assistant Chief Deputy C.D. Shaw. Hickory Police Department was nominated by U.S. Army Reserve Staff Sergeant Andrew Robinson. Hickory is a city in the western part of North Carolina. It has a population of 43,500. The police department is dedicated to improving the quality of life in the city. The department works with the community to provide effective and efficient public safety services while maintaining respect for cultural diversity and individual rights and dignity. The quote is, we are humbled and honored to be named a recipient of the 2023 Secretary of Defense Employer Support Freedom Award. We at HPD are fortunate to work for a city that has always recognized and appreciated the military service of our coworkers. Police Chief D. Reed Bear, accepting on behalf of Hickory Police Department, is Chief Bear. King County was nominated by U.S. Coast Guard Reserve Petty Officer Second Class Christopher Capoletti, who was recently received his commission as an ensign in the United States Coast Guard. Semper Perez. King County is a local government responsible for judicial, administrative, public safety, land use, property assessment and taxation, health, transportation and roads, election and parks, over 2.2 million residents. The county seat is located in Seattle, with offices for various functions located throughout the county. The quote is, King County is deeply honored by this nomination. Military personnel bring an unmistakable can-do attitude, proven effectiveness working in diverse environments, and a rock-solid sense of duty and service, which is exactly what we want in King County. We are committed to supporting our Guard and Reserve employees and their families, and we are stronger for their contributions as an employer and a community. King County Executive Dow Constantine, accepting on behalf of King County, is Dow Constantine. Knox County Public Schools was nominated by Army National Guard Major Michael Hicks. Knox County Schools in Tennessee, K-12 school system comprised of 9,000 men and women dedicated to providing all children with an exceptional education in a safe, secure, and healthy environment. KCS serves 58,000 plus students from 40 elementary schools, 16 middle schools, and 16 high schools, 3 virtual schools, and 5 other schools. The vision of KCS is to grow lifelong learners who contribute their talents, strengths, and skills to build a stronger community. Approximately 150 employees of Knox County Schools are veterans. The quote is, Guard and Reserve service members are valued employees of Knox County Schools, and their excellence in teaching, leading, and supporting students will make a difference for generations to come. We'll be proud of their willingness to defend and protect the United States and to sacrifice their time and talent on behalf of every U.S. citizen. Dr. John Reisowitz, Superintendent, Knox County Schools. Accepting on behalf of Knox County is Dr. Reisowitz. Okay, and I'll just ask for one final round of applause for all of your 2023. Okay, alas, it is time to go. Before we do, we want to thank all of you for attending, helping recognizing these wonderful employers. We're indebted to them for their support of the National Guard and the Reserve, and by extension, the safety and security of our nation. Secretary Cisneros and Chairman Bogle, please remain here on the stage we'll ask all recipients for a group photo on the stage. For everyone else, there will be a reception immediately outside the auditorium. Again, thank you for coming this morning.